Hey folks, Martin here from Hide and Seek. On the beach finally after all this horrible weather. You can look at the backdrop. There is still snow on the hills. They're down on Bishopstone Glen in Herne Bay. Michael's in the distance there, setting his stuff up. So yeah, as you can tell from the title of this video, we're calling it Back to Basics. So it's been pretty tough fishing around here lately. I mean, it's quite tough fishing anyway, but even more so. It's just the end of January, beginning of February now. Doesn't seem to be very good for fish. People have been pulling out the odd ray and some dabs and things. So back to basics. So we're going to go fully scratching around for anything. What I learned when I very first started, some free hook flappers, which I'll show you in a bit, and different hook sizes. And I just wanted to say that I am a novice angler. I've been fishing properly for about 6 months. I fished before that, about 4 years prior, when I was little a little bit, but it was like a handful of trips a year, if that. Sometimes I'd skip years, I just wasn't that interested, but now I'm fully into it. So yeah, so I am a novice. I make mistakes, I'll keep them in as best I can, but I still catch the odd fish. So hopefully today, I mean, I'm not sure, but that water is pretty still. But yeah, so yeah, back to basics. I'll go through it in a bit, but I'm going to get rigged up, and got a little tip for beginner anglers. There's problems I've had with that are easily rectified, but I'll show you in a sec. Right, back again. So this is the thing I was going to talk about at the beginning, basic tips and stuff. So for the beginner anglers, when you set up, obviously you attach your reel to your rod, and then what you've got to do is you've got to thread the line from your reel up through the rings, now all the way up there to the very top. Now what I did quite a lot, I might like to add, I don't like to admit it, but I did, was that sometimes, and it's not always your fault, but when you're threading, make sure they go straight through all the rings, don't miss any out, and don't wrap it over the top. Sometimes if it's windy, this can fly around if you let go, or if you've got cold fingers or whatever, and then you end up getting a wrap over the top and then back through the rest of the ice. Now this will cause a crack off, and I've done it several times, so you have to be really careful. Obviously better anglers, you know what you're doing, blah blah blah, but this is for the beginners. It's easily done, and I'd imagine that you could do it even if you're a veteran. If it's cold, your fingers are freezing, the wind's blowing strong, you accidentally drop it, you don't see it wrap over the top. Yeah, so that is one thing to stay conscious of. Right, this is the next thing I wanted to talk about. So obviously it's my rigs, or rig at the minute, I haven't got the other one on. So this first one is going to be a 3-hook flapper. Now in one of my previous videos I was getting bites but wasn't hooking up with anything, and a few of you guys on Instagram were saying to me, try some smaller hooks because it could be dab pecking at the bait and not getting hooked up. So what I've done, I've made this 3-hook flapper. Now the bottom 2 hooks are smaller hook sizes because this is a shallow beach. So when it's laying out in the water, the bottom 2 hooks will probably be the closest to the seafloor, if not laying on the seafloor. So that's where the dabs, flounder and all that are. So if I've got small hooks at the bottom 2, then I stand a better chance of hooking into them. Now on the top hook, I've got a slightly bigger hook. It's a 2.0 Aberdeen style, and I'm going to tip that with like a fish bait or something, maybe sand eel. Idea being that if there is a rogue bass or some whiting or anything, I mean, yeah, I could hook up on the bottom hooks with them, just because you've got small hooks doesn't mean you can't catch big fish. I've seen that too many times to know it's not true. But you know, stand a chance of catching a bigger one on the top hook. So I've got 3 hooks with 3 baits, and that's going to be on both rods. So that's 6 hooks in the water, 6 baits, because obviously we're just trying to catch whatever. So I want to increase my chances. So yeah, right, it's enough talking. Let's get these puppies out in the water. Right in the camera shot. Stay there. I will put that in. Yeah. I will put that in. Don't put that in. I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put that in. Hello, I'm back. No bites yet. Michael's in the background there making part of the video. See the hills in the background? Used to play on them when I was a wee nipper. Bit dangerous, but back then there wasn't so many health and safety regulations. Now it's, to be honest, it's a lot of it collapsed and stuff. I'll just show you. So, Reculver's all the way in the distance over there. It's a bit... the actual towers are just behind that point. But yeah, this is the cliffs at Bishopstone Glen in Herne Bay. Just down there, with this bad weather we've been having, we've just had a bit of a landslide. Nothing major, but you know, if you're under it, it's still pretty bad. It's enough to take your life, that's for sure. So you have to be a bit careful. They're pretty much we're safe down here. We're quite a distance from the beach, from the cliff, sorry. So it was high tide at 2:15. It is currently, I don't know what the time is actually, probably about 11:45, something like that. So we've still got a ways to go. The high tide line was just up here, you can see, with the seaweed. That's a good tip for new anglers. If you're not sure where the tide's going to come to, look for the seaweed. There's like a demarcation line where the tides come up. Hopefully you can see that. But it's a good indication of where the tide can come up to. I have seen the tide actually go over the bottom of these rocks before, but we'll just move back as the tide pushes us in. There's quite a few people about today, just walking the dogs or playing on the beach. Pretty much because it's been the best day for a week. It really has. It's a southeasterly, but these cliffs are protecting us. So it's actually, well, I feel warm because I'm wrapped up in so many layers, but it's the temperature, the actual air temperature is risen quite substantially. Obviously the snow's still there. Actually looks really nice. It's a bit annoying, but it's quite nice. Michael getting some more shots. Herne Bay in the distance, the old pier. Usually fish, my normal fishing place is about 300 yards up there. Don't know if you can make out the wind farm in the background there. But yeah, so hopefully as this tide builds up, the fish might move in. If not, I'm just so glad to be out. Yeah, see you in a bit. But I just wanted to show you this. This is my latest rod. When I say latest, it was bought for me about 3 years ago. I'm not selling anything, but it's one of those. A carbon strike surfcaster, 14-foot, 3-piece distance cast. It's a carbon fibre rod. I think it was bought at a boot fair for about £18. It's bigger than I'm used to, that's what she said, but yeah, it does the job. I'm not going to say it's made my casts better, longer, further, all that stuff. That comes with practice. Obviously the hardware does help you out, but I just wanted to show you. You don't need all the best fancy gear. 18 quid rod. 3-piece, fits in the car nicely, straight in the boot. But yeah, thought I'd show you. Come on, fish. As you can see, I'm going to have to move back because the water is now up to the tripod. So all I'm going to do for that is unscrew the drag on both reels, pick it all up in one go, and just walk it up the beach and make sure that the drag's loose enough so the line just spills out easy. Haven't got to move far, but even though I've got my boots on, I don't really want the surf to engulf my reels and rods and it all get washed out to sea. Well, quick update guys, it's well, it's gone high tide. It's going to start ebbing off in a bit. We've not got much, no bites, nothing like that, but I thought, why not? I'm going to go seek and destroy. I've put my pulley on, my pulley pennel, got a nice big lunky squid bait on there. Maybe it's not best, but I need to use some squid up. So yeah, going to chuck this out and well, you never know, do you? You've got to be in it to win it, that's what they keep saying. So yeah, we'll chuck this out and see what happens. Well guys, it's last knockings now. See Michael reeling in the background. It's been useless. To be fair, it has been pretty useless, especially fish. No bites. We've been plagued by weed actually as the tide's been ebbing, but I guess that's to be expected around here. Builds up, but yeah, it's been a bit bad for fishing. Still on my blank record, but still out, still enjoying myself. And to be fair, with surroundings like this, sea all around you, snow covered hills, cliffs, it's just been nice to get out, and it's not been that cold today. So yeah, well, anyway guys, I will see you next time on the beach, unless I catch a fish, which I very much doubt. Not now, but rods are still out for the time being. Like I said, it's the last cast if that thing exists, but never know. Right, I'll see you later.